What is happening, guys? Hope you're all having a great day out there. So today I'm doing my first mock draft of the off season, my first mock draft on the channel here. Going to be taking you guys through 6 rounds. I made a trade here on the top of the draft, so I've got a total of 11 picks here to go through. So got a number of picks here to go over, and let's get it started. So here in the first round, I traded with Detroit. In exchange for the third overall pick, they offered the seventh overall pick, picks 39, 71, 110, and a 2022 second round pick. So I couldn't turn that down, and I traded back with Detroit, picking up an additional second round, third round pick, fourth round pick, and a second round pick in 2022. I'm sure a lot of you guys would have loved to stay at third overall and pick up, Penei Sewell or Javonte Smith, but this kind of a trade, moving back and getting much more capital, I couldn't turn it down, and you'll see. Moving along with this draft, we were able to pick up a number of great talented players with those picks, and it's just going to help to build a much more rounded team and a team that's going to compete for the playoffs and for Super Bowls for many years to come. So with that first pick in the first round, the seventh overall pick, I went ahead and took Jaylen Waddle, the electric and explosive and just game-changing athlete that would be great in this offense. Whoever the offensive coordinator is going to be, I'm sure they'd love to have Jaylen Waddle on the team, and just pairing him up with Javonte Parker, and hopefully if Preston Williams can stay healthy, Jaylen Waddle would be amazing on the Miami Dolphins. And the best thing about this pick is he's got prior chemistry with Tua. They played for a couple seasons, 2 or 3 seasons, I think, at Alabama, so they should be able to pick up where they left off. And Jaylen Waddle, that kind of speed, you can't turn down. And just, man, I think he's going to run, like a 4.29 at the combine. I think he's got a chance to be as fast as Henry Ruggs coming out of Alabama. So, man, if you just watch his tape, you can see he's got amazing speed. No one can keep up with him on the football field. And he plays with toughness. He plays with physicality. He can go up and win those 50-50 balls. He's got strong hands. He's got great route running ability, just the kind of athlete that he is. He runs routes with ease. He gets open over the top. And just, man, you can't turn down this kind of speed this early in the draft. He's got the chance to be, a kind of, Tyreek Hill kind of talent in the NFL. He's got amazing speed. And, yeah, you just can't turn that down. Would love to see him with the Dolphins. So, moving on to the 18th overall pick. I went ahead here and took linebacker Zaven Collins out of Tulsa. He's listed at 6'4", 260 pounds. He is tailor-made for this Brian Flores defense. And honestly, to be a linebacker in the NFL, he's got amazing size. He's a tremendous athlete. He plays with great instincts. And he's got great football intelligence. He can really just do it all out there on the field. He can blitz the quarterback. He's great in coverage. His instincts are really just elite. This past season, he won the award for Best Defensive Player in the country in college. So, man, this is a very intriguing and dynamic talent for the NFL. There's nothing that he really can't do, and man, this would be perfect for the linebacking core, perfect for this defense behind the defensive line. This would be an elite and dynamic piece for this team, and I would love him here at 18. I was very tempted here to take Rashad Bateman from Minnesota. I almost double dipped taking 2 receivers in the first round, but you'll see. I'll be addressing the receiver position with some later picks. So moving on to the second round. The second round pick I got from Detroit, the 35th overall pick. I took Javonte Williams, running back out of North Carolina. Man, this guy is as dynamic as it gets from a running back. 5'10", 220 pounds. He plays with great physicality. He's got great speed, great quickness. I mean, he's not a complete burner like a Travis Etienne. He's not going to be running like a sub 4.5. But man, he reminds me a lot of like an Alvin Kamara, a Zach Moss that came out of college last year from Utah. Just absolute physical bell cows that break tackles left and right, but he's also got the quickness to get around the edge and pick up yards on the outside. He runs with great vision. You can really see that watching his tape. He really knows how to set up his blocks, and just he can run through all sorts of tackles, and God, he'd be perfect for this offense. I honestly think he'd win the job in training camp if he went up against Myles Gaskin and Salvon Ahmed. He's that kind of talent, and yeah, I'm imploring you guys, watch Javonte Williams' tape. You won't be disappointed. The guy is everything you want from an NFL running back. And man, he would really elevate our offense and our running back room. On to the 39th overall pick. I took Jay Tufali, defensive tackle out of USC. With Devon Gottschalk probably leaving in free agency, Tufali would be a perfect replacement. He's 6'3", 315 pounds, but man, he is very dynamic when it comes to playing the interior defensive line position. He does a great job as a pass rusher. He can take on double teams. He does a great job fulfilling, two gap responsibilities. He can one gap. He can two gap. He's a great penetrator. He can really just do it all as a defensive tackle, and he'd be great depth to pair with Raekwon Davis and Christian Wilkins and Zach Sealer. We'd have 4 dynamic guys right there in the interior, and that would be amazing for this defense. He's versatile. He's strong. He's physical. Great size. Jay Tufali. I would love him on the Dolphins here in the second round. On to the third second-round pick here. I took Creed Humphrey, the center out of Oklahoma. He's a guy that could come in right away and upgrade the center position from Ted Karras. A big guy, 6'5", 316 pounds. He's been great for Oklahoma the last 3 years. He started 37 games. He's a former wrestler, so plays with great leverage. He's just physical. He's big. He doesn't have great athleticism to get up to the second level, and get up on linebackers, but I don't think that's what Flores wants from his offensive line. I think he wants big physical dudes that can win one-on-one, that can help out on double teams, that can dominate the man across from them and just, win with power man schemes. Creed Humphrey would be an amazing center for this offensive line and would just elevate this offense, and he'd plug in right away with Austin Jackson, Eric Flowers, Solomon Kinley, Robert Hunt. Creed Humphrey, man, could you imagine him out there on the field with those guys? This would be a very dominant and very physical offensive line if the Dolphins were to pick up Creed Humphrey in the upcoming draft. So onto the third round here, the 71st overall pick. I took Seth Williams, wide receiver out of Auburn. This is another guy you guys have to check out. He's 6'2", 224 pounds. He checks all the boxes that you want from an NFL receiver. He plays with great physicality, great quickness. His ball skills are off the charts. He almost always wins when the football's up in the air. And man, I just love the way he plays the game because he can get open and he plays a great physicality. And Seth Williams, I think he'd have a real chance to start for the Dolphins and would just give us great depth in that room. And he'd be an awesome target for Tua. You guys have to check him out. I think he's probably going to go in the second round. He's an awesome talent. His talent just jumps off the screen right from the get-go. And man, I'd love him. He'd be perfect. On to the second, third round pick, the 81st overall pick. I took back Patrick Jones the second here, edge rusher out of Pittsburgh. He's not a polished prospect at this point, but man, he's another guy you guys have to check out. I know I keep saying that, but yeah, all these guys are fun to watch on tape. Patrick Jones just absolutely jumps off the line of scrimmage like an absolute bobcat, like a banshee, man. His get off is amazing. It's as elite as it gets, but he plays with great physicality as well. He's definitely unrefined when it comes to pass rushing. His hand technique isn't great. At times, he doesn't do a good job using his length, but playing behind Emmanuel Ogba and Chuck Lawson and Van Ginkel and Kyle Van Noy, if Van Noy, depending on what role Van Noy has next year, he'd be perfect to learn behind those guys. And just, you can see his raw physical tools are off the charts. And man, if we could develop him, which I'm very confident the Dolphins can do, the coaching staff has showed it the last couple of years, they can develop guys like Raekwon Davis. He started off slow and just really came on the last quarter of the season. And Patrick Jones, I think, would come into the perfect situation to learn from those guys, to grow. And he has the chance to be, one of the best pass rushers in the NFL if he can develop the way he needs to. So onto the fourth round, the 110th overall pick. I took Talanoa Hufanga from USC. I think I got that right. He's played safety and linebacker for the Trojans. He was a surprise entrant into the 2021 NFL Draft, and this is another amazing guy to watch on tape. Tremendous instincts, plays with great physicality. He's a great tackler, and he's also very versatile. He played free safety and strong safety for USC, and at times played linebacker, outside linebacker. Just his football instincts are amazing, and this kind of talent and athlete would be amazing for this team and defense. And God, I really think as this pre-draft process moves along, Talanoa Hufanga is going to move up the big boards and probably going to go in the second or third round. He's that great a talent, and yeah, I would love him on the Dolphins. On to the 121st overall pick in the fourth round, I took tight end Jeremy Ruckert from Ohio State. Just watching him, especially in the national championship football game, he's got great talent. Depending on what Durham Smythe does, Jeremy Ruckert would be a great replacement. 6'5", 250 pounds. He's got great ball skills, great hands. He knows how to get open. And depending what he shows in training camp, he could have a chance to contribute in the 2021 season. And yeah, I really like him as a tight end. And also, he's not a bad blocker. So, on to the 6th round. In this mock, I didn't have any 5th round picks. So, the 197th overall pick, I took KJ Costello, the quarterback out of Mississippi State. I think he was formerly playing for Stanford. He transferred to Mississippi State to play in that wide open offense. And he was pretty great this last season. He put up some tremendous numbers. Was it 2019 or this season? I remember him putting up some eye-popping numbers, but he's 6'5", 225 pounds, but he's got some nice tools to work with here. He could be a guy, to sit in the quarterback room and learn from Tua, but he's got some upside, and I think he's got a real chance to be a good backup quarterback in the NFL, and a guy that can just really stick around as a, backup or potentially develop into a starter for, the next decade. So, on to the last pick of this mock draft, the 202nd overall pick, the Dolphins' last pick here in the 6th round. I took cornerback Ambry Thomas out of Michigan. I'll be honest, I haven't seen much tape of him, but he's 6'2", 6 foot, 185 pounds, former 4-star athlete, but he does a great job in man coverage, and that's what the Dolphins love. I've really got to watch more tape to get a better feel for this guy, but here in the 6th round, I really haven't, had a chance to look at a number of these prospects that are going to go, late day 3. I'll have a better feel for these guys, in a couple of months, but yeah, what I'm seeing and what I've heard, he's a great man cover corner, and the Dolphins always need those. So that's it for this mock draft, guys. As you can see, we've got a number of elite talents here that could come in right away and help out the team. Start at the top here, the 7th overall pick, Jaylen Waddle. You guys all know who he is. Amazing speed, and he'd just be amazing with Tua. Zaven Collins, very talented, very versatile. He'd be the perfect linebacker in this defense. Javonte Williams, an absolute power running back that's got surprising speed and quickness, and his best trait is his ability to break tackles, and you always want that in the NFL. I think he'd be perfect for the Dolphins. On to the 39th pick, Jay Tufali, talented defensive tackle that would be amazing for that defensive line room. Creed Humphrey could come in right away. He was the 50th pick. He could come in right away, like I said, and start for the Dolphins. Big physical guy that would really fit our scheme. 71st pick, Seth Williams. Big physical guy, 6'2", 224 pounds. He gets open. He's got great hands. He wins more times than not when he's going up against cornerbacks. You guys have to check him out. I'm really, really impressed with Seth Williams, and I think he's got a chance to go early day 2. 81st overall pick, Patrick Jones. Bit of a raw prospect at this point, but the physical tools just really jump off the screen, and I think he's got a real chance to develop with this Dolphins coaching staff and behind Ogba and Lawson and Van Ginkel. 110th pick, Talanoa Hufanga. Very versatile guy. Played safety and linebacker for USC. Could do it all out there on the football field and would just be great depth for this defense because he's got a chance to play safety or linebacker, and Flores absolutely loves those guys. 121st pick, Jeremy Ruckert, tight end out of Ohio State. Talented guy, 6'5", 250 pounds. Great hands, knows how to get open. I think he'd be nice depth and a nice development piece for the tight end room. Pick 197, KJ Costello, quarterback, Mississippi State. Like I said before, he's got a real chance to develop into something, and I think he can be a backup for many years to come. And Ambry Thomas, cornerback, Michigan. He's a good cover corner that, excels in man coverage, and the Dolphins, love those kind of guys. So that's it for my first mock draft here of the off-season. Well, my first mock draft on the channel. Make sure to let me know in the comments section what you think of my picks here. My picks are definitely going to change over the next couple of months. This is just my first one here. And obviously, after free agency, the mindset heading into the draft is going to be a lot different. And also after the Combine and Senior Bowl, we'll see how these guys do. But this is just a starting point. And it just shows you the kind of talent we can pick up this year. Last year, we had 3 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. We picked up a number of talented guys. But this just shows what we could do in 2021. If we get it right in this draft and just bring in, 8 talented guys, the sky's the limit for this team. We won 10 games last season. I really think if we improve, if Tua improves, if the offensive line comes together, if those young guys on the O-line, improve, if we add another couple, nice pieces to the defense, we got a real chance to be a 12, 13 win team for many years to come if we really get this right. Alrighty guys, that's it for this one. I'll see you guys in the next video. Fins up, baby.